All right. So yeah, Randy, you got.
What? What are you laughing at?
You definitely got that good like 80s hairband look going, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's.
I feel like you could rock a power ballad.
Song. Woo! Man, you know how long I'd have to have because my hair's curly. Like it would look like this if I grew it out long enough.
Wow.
But it would take probably 10 years.
Go for it. You got nothing but time. Hey, Zach, is it Wrestling Inc. or Wrestling Incorporated?
Wrestling Inc. as far as I think. Okay. It seems to be, from what I get from it, it seems that's what I get paid with, so that should be what I go with, I guess, right?
Nice. You get paid. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Wow, I wish we got paid, Randy. Like, can you imagine how much more fun that would be?
Oh, I get paid very well. You don't get paid?
You know what? With the departure of Ray, Rich Dickman had to cut down on costs. It doesn't make any sense, does it?
No.
Maybe he's fighting
WWE logic right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
All right. Everybody to cut costs and then look at the empty.
All right, let's get going here, Randy. I know you got a long day tomorrow, so let's start the show. Poor Randy. Oh shit! What episode is this?
168.
Oh God, I think it's 167. Kristen, you gotta tell somebody get in there. Oh
167.
Shit! Hey everybody!
Oh God, we lost it.
Welcome to episode 167 of the Rich Dickman Show, the podcast that is slightly better than mediocre. I disconnected myself from the chat room. I don't. I'm gonna do it again. I am. You know what? I'm Rem. That's Randy. We got guests. We're gonna have fun. Yeah. Let's do it, Randy. Get in there. What's going on, baby?
Oh my God, I have fucking 8 eyes right now. Man.
Hold on. Okay.
For those who aren't watching the video on Patreon.
Of which I turned myself off during the intro.
I have an excessive amount of eyes.
What? How?
Yeah, you completely disappeared from the Discord, bro.
How embarrassing is this? Like, what the hell is going on right now? We're trying to be professional and have guests, and I'm hanging up in the middle of the intro. This is ridiculous. Randy, let me introduce our guest, okay? Because this is just one of those. You know what? It's because we recorded a bonus episode last night. Like, I'm off schedule now. You know, I'm a routine type of guy, and right now I'm off schedule, and it's going to mess me up. But tonight we have a very special guest with us, okay? This is somebody who I wanted on the show for a while. We just never worked out. You know why? Because Ray wasn't a wrestling fan, and I'm sorry to anybody out there who doesn't really like wrestling. This isn't going to be just about wrestling. It's going to be about the world around it, and you'll see what I mean in a few minutes. But this gentleman appeared in my timeline, I don't know, 2 years ago, right? And I thought to myself, wow, it's one wrestling writer who's not a fucking asshole. He was awesome. He was really cool. So I'd like to introduce to you, Randy, and to the Rich Dickman Show universe, Mr. Zach Perez of WrestlingInc.com. Hey, Zach.
Hey guys, thanks for having me. Yeah, man, it's crazy to think, like, I was just looking back at it, like it has been like almost 2-3 years now. I think we both kind of like connected through doing the WWE podcast stuff for a little while.
That's right.
And we kind of met through that and linked up. Yep.
Yeah, I forgot I did that because that was the weirdest thing, man, because this guy, he said, we're looking for people to write articles. So I submitted a sample, right? And before he even said, we're going to take you on, he published my goddamn samples. And then... Yeah, I was doing it for free, obviously, but he never promoted any of my stuff. I was like, what the hell am I doing? If he's not going to promote my articles, like, why am I going to keep doing this? It was dumb. Anyways, Zach, yeah, it's been a little bit, and I love when you're live tweeting during wrestling and everything, and your articles are great, but the best part about you, and I was telling Randy this while you were resetting Discord, is that in the world of wrestling writers, and I can't call them journalists because most of them are just terrible, but in the world of wrestling writers, they all feel like they need to pass along their agenda, their biases, their thoughts, and I don't want any of that. I want a guy, if he's live tweeting the show, just to tell me what he thinks of the show, and that's it. And that's you, Zach. You're great at this, and I love it, and I'm finally glad we're able to meet up. So, what's going on? Thanks for coming on. How are you?
Thanks, man. I'm doing pretty good. I'm trying to keep busy with everything, trying to keep going with wrestling and just trying to find different ways to get into it. Been trying to do as many live tweet shows as I can for
Yeah.
Wrestling Inc. and stuff like that. So I just keep adding the shows. It's always so funny to me too because like you were talking about the unbiased nature of it. I keep adding on more shows now. I do NXT, I do AEW, and I do SmackDown for them. So a lot of time, people always love to give me shit, about one or the other, saying, oh, this opinion or that, you're biased, you're a brown noser and this. And it kills me because it's so funny because I kind of try to play the nice guy card a little bit. I can be an asshole, that's a little bit, but for the most part, I try to play the nice guy card in the internet wrestling community. And it's always so funny to me that no matter what, I'll go from one night to the next, especially Tuesday, Wednesday. It's like polar. I'll go on Tuesdays and I'll be like, you say nothing but good about NXT, you brown noser. And then the next night it's like, you're an AEW shill. How can you're on Tony Khan's paybook and all that. It's like, it's amazing how the internet wrestling community works, man. But it's a fun ride to be on. That's for sure.
Oh, I can imagine. I can imagine. So let me get some business out of the way, Randy, and we'll get into all your AEW questions, but nobody watches that shit. I'm just kidding. RichStickman.com for all your Rich Stickman needs.
Yeah, right.
And let me tell you something. Our episodes that are missing are slowly coming back because nobody's gotten in trouble yet and nothing has really happened since. And I think the guy is safe at his job. So right now, up to episode 100 is back, and we're going to be adding more as we go, Randy. But on the website, richstickman.com, all of the episodes are available. You can check them out. You can check them out there. Plus, you can get t-shirts, click the merch tab, and of course, YouTube, our YouTube channel there as well. Okay. Thank you, first of all, Randy, to Walter for coming on last week. Walter was fantastic. All right. Walter was a great guest. He did a great job. And I even spoke to him a couple days ago over the phone. We were talking about his internet radio station offer to put me on air. So that's interesting. That may be something that's in development. Zach, do you listen to any internet radio?
I've been trying to get into listening just in general to more podcasts and stuff like that because I tend to get like in a rut of listening or doing one type of media and I just lose myself into it. And I've probably been doing that for like a year and a half now with video games. So I'm trying to slowly bring myself out of that because of the pandemic lifestyle. Yeah. So I'm trying to get my ears and my eyes a little more active since my body doesn't seem to like to be.
So you're in luck.
Have you been playing Valheim?
Oh, yeah.
That's my question.
That's a good question.
What game was that?
Valheim?
I haven't actually. Yeah, I've heard a lot of people have been playing it, and I'm thinking about joining up to it.
Yeah, so Randy, he got us into Valheim.
We got a server, man. You got an invite.
He never plays. Randy.
Yeah, I never play because I work too much, but it's a good game.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Think about Minecraft being Vikings. Yeah. It's one of those.
Yeah, that seems like a pretty good mix to me. I mean, like the Viking thing grabbed me right away. I've been surprised at how it's taken so long for there to be like a serious like Viking game. It seems like, it took an amazing amount of generations of video games to get just one Viking game.
Yeah, or one that's worth playing.
And it was made by 5 people.
Yeah, it's crazy how that's happening now. You see these smaller and smaller studios, it blows my mind to think, you see it from like anywhere from like 1 to 3 people just making these huge games that end up blowing up all over the place.
Yeah, world's changed. The world's got a lot smaller. But so, all right, Zach, how did you get into writing for wrestling? I mean, I assume you were a fan. I don't know how old you are when you started watching, but what did you just have an interest in, like communicating about it, or did an opportunity just present itself and you like, oh, you know what, let me try?
Yeah, so I kind of got back into wrestling not too long ago, around the same time kind of that the AEW upkick happened, a lot of the announcements and stuff like that, the buzz around it kind of brought me back. it. And around the same time, I had a lot of extra time working I was a property manager at a storage facility. And so 90% of the time it was in the middle of nowhere in the country in upstate New York. So I'm sitting there with nothing to do, sitting there waiting for people to show up that never do. So I end up having all this extra free time on my hands. And instead of being insanely bored, I started watching more and more wrestling again and kind of picking up on it. And then I actually started writing for What Culture. They actually have a pretty easy program where you can get up and running with them. And it's basically like you submit in articles, you sign up with like a username and password and stuff like that, and they get you all hooked up to where you can start submitting it directly to the editor. So it's a pretty kind of user-friendly way of getting into writing if you've never done it. And my first article that I submitted got published right away. So I kind of felt like it felt like a good fit right away, that they kind of like plugged it in right off the bat and didn't really have too much to change about it. So I was like, you know what, I've always liked writing and I've always liked wrestling, so it seemed like a good enough marriage to me to jump into it.
That's just like me. My first article got published immediately too. Yeah. Now you mentioned what culture. That's interesting, because I remember What Culture had a bunch of, you know what I'm talking about, Randy. It had a bunch of entertaining hosts and writers and stuff, and then they all left. Yeah, and the place sucks now.
They still have Simon Miller. He's all right. He makes me giggle.
Aside from Simon Miller.
Yeah, I'm still a big ups and downs, guys.
Yeah. Do you talk to Simon at all?
No, I never really got too far into it. I got to know a couple of the editors there. It's been a little while now since I stopped writing for them, so I can't remember offhand, but there was a few guys there that I kind of got to know based on just, going back and forth about the articles and stuff like that. Yeah. And it seemed like for the most part, they're all really cool guys, all typical, like what you would expect, like British gentlemen, pretty much is how I would describe my relationship with all the people that I came across.
Randy, I'm sure, Zach, you're aware, but Randy, are you aware of the Adam Blampied situation that happened over there?
No? What are you talking about?
Zach, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the Exodus, right? The cultaholic Exodus kind of. Yeah.
Essentially, basically right around the time everything like that happened. But this guy, Adam Blampied, maybe their second popular host next to Simon Miller, right? And he did a whole bunch of, actually had a lot of interesting content. Well, it comes out that he was, as Dick Masterson likes to say, he was outed for being straight. He liked to talk to women, and he liked to, maybe get a picture or two, right? So one woman comes out, she felt, some kind of way about it. And then he just immediately says, I'm sorry, I'm a sex addict. I'm going to quit everything and I'm going to go to therapy. And then he disappeared. He just up and left.
Right? Wow. I didn't know the rest of the story to it. That's so funny. I just kind of saw the exit happen and everything, and I didn't really know too much about the details of what exactly happened.
So
good for him. I hope he found himself.
Oh no, he did. He actually did the smartest thing. He removed himself from the situation entirely. But what was always funny to me, is that the show Doctor Who, he when they announced Peter Capaldi as the new Doctor, he was another white man as a doctor, and then they announced Jodie Whittaker as a new Doctor, and he's fist pumping in the air, a female Doctor Who. And then here he is, he has absolutely no respect for females, apparently. So much so that he had to put himself into therapy for it. So it's always the biggest creeps. The white knight's the biggest creeps. Yeah. So, Zach,
protest too much.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So you're covering, you said earlier, you're covering NXT on Tuesdays, and then AEW on Wednesdays, and SmackDown on Fridays. Luckily for you, you don't have to do 3 hours of Raw every week.
Can't bring yourself to watch Raw, or
yeah, I'm kind of lucky that one's covered. I might have to set aside an extra week of just consoling time in between if I were to do Raw.
Yeah. So when you're live tweeting these shows, so I'm not a live tweeter, right? I can't follow both. I'm too old for that stuff now. But what's your goal when live tweeting the show? Just to convey your excitement for the product and your thoughts, or are you trying to elicit reaction and interaction?
It's a good, healthy, probably mix of both. You know, it's kind of like what I go into it with is I kind of want to be the guy that you would want to hang out and have a beer with while you're watching wrestling.
Yes.
So I try to give as much of that kind of flavor to it as possible, you know, mix in cracking jokes and memes and kind of like making stuff like that up along the way. And then at the same time, I also try to give a positive spin and throw in some things too, you know, to kind of promote wrestling as a whole. I try to keep as much negativity out as I possibly can, and that's another good reason why I keep away from Raw. And then that way I can try and at least, you know, keep good relationships and promote the good stuff, because I think that if you go on wrestling Twitter, you can find a bad opinion or a negative opinion in about a half a second. So I try and steer the other way as much as I can and try to give a little bit of the power of positivity, if a little Big E style, you know?
Yeah. Do you remember what may have been your most controversial tweet or even article?
Oh, let's see. I think probably a controversial article. I remember when I first started writing for What Culture, I wrote something about this was right at the inception of AEW. I wrote an article. It was kind of a listicle style. So it was something along the lines of 10 things you won't see in AEW that WWE does. So kind of like WWE tropes that you wouldn't see in AEW. And I probably got a lot of my predictions wrong. Some of them were a little bit bolder. Like, for example, when it first started out and the wins and losses stuff was announced, I ended up saying something along the lines of, I didn't see them using nearly as much of jobbers. You know, just like random guys who they would kind of run through with, because it made more sense to me to kind of have, you know, the losses make sense for an actual roster member. It's kind of been that way, but, you know, they've expanded so much with Dark and all that it kind of ended up not being true. So I think that particular article, I got a lot of flack for in the comment section about, you know, like, oh, you're trying to paint this golden ticket land, you know, this wonderful, you know, Wonka factory wrestling of it's just going to be beautiful and there's going to be no problems and all that. And it was really just trying to take a little dig a little bit, I guess, at WWE and some of the stuff that they were doing, and kind of some of the stuff that I was hoping AEW would get right in my book if I was the fantasy booker of the world, you know.
So, you know, Randy, we've talked about this before, and I've made fun of AEW in different ways, but I gotta come clean with my issue with AEW to begin with. Now, Zach, you're here. You'll probably understand some of this, but you actually just got back into wrestling around 2019. I got back in 2016. I'd stopped in 2005 and got back in 2016. So I had 10 years there. But what got me into wrestling, like really hardcore, was 2017 Kenny Omega versus Kazuchika Okada at the Wrestle Kingdom. Okay, when I watched that match at 47 minutes of amazing perfectness, I was like, God damn, like wrestling can actually be really good, you know, outside of just, you know, stories that may be interesting. What the hell was I saying, Randy? I forgot what the point I was trying to make. It's gone.
Kenny Omega.
Oh yeah.
Okada.
Oh yeah. Why my problem with AEW? So following Kenny Omega led me to the Young Bucks, right? And the Young Bucks were doing Being the Elite on YouTube, and at that time it was only 30 something episodes in, right? Now they're 200 something, and I'm like, wow, I like these guys. The Young Bucks are entertaining. I like what they're doing with Being the Elite. I like the behind the scenes look at things. And then they evolved into storytelling. They got into kicking Adam Cole out of the Bullet Club and killing him, right? And I was there when they did that. I was at the Manhattan Center when that happened. The story, and then the whole the whole Kenny and Cody Bullet Club leader thing that played out and being And I thought that was fantastic. I'm like, wow. And I'd only see Kenny Omega wrestle a couple times a year because he was in Japan, and you know the big shows we'd find. And same with the Bucks. I wouldn't see the Bucks wrestle very often. When I would watch them wrestle, it was an event, right? It wasn't something you could see every Monday night. So a couple times a year, and it's always a fantastic match. And then they were on TV every week, and I got to see Kenny Omega every week and the Young Bucks every week. And I'm like, what was special about them was not seeing them. They ruined that. They took that from me by making AEW. You know, like now Randy knows all about Kenny Omega, whereas 4 years ago, Randy had no idea who the guy was. Or me, I was.
That's factually incorrect.
Stop it, Randy. You know what I'm saying.
Actually,
I'm using you as
sir.
an example. So you understand my frustration with AEW, but I'm
Okay.
glad that AEW exists. I'm glad everybody enjoys it. Now, can we talk about how crazy their fans are, Zach? Like, they're fucking insane.
They absolutely are. I think, what's interesting about it to me is that I think that wrestling brings out the crazy and normal people more than any other thing in the world, which
It does.
is something that is such a gift and a curse about
I don't
it.
know. Meth exists.
That's true. And so does Florida. Florida as a whole kind of like proves that.
Florida and meth combined is a strong force.
Florida
That's a
man
force to be
combines
reckoned
those
with.
powers together. It's like like that Captain Planet putting the rings together,
Captain Planet.
He's a hero. He's a hero, Randy. Yep.
Yep. He's a hero. Gonna take pollution down to zero. Yeah, I know it, Rim. Back the fuck
They were
off.
the original Power
I had
Rangers.
way too many fever dreams about that.
All right. Zach, who would you say is the most famous person you have interviewed? If you have, maybe you haven't.
I haven't really gotten much of a chance to interview just yet. I think the closest brush in general that I came across was there was an event that happened here a while back. I want to say it was Northeast Wrestling. It was Wrestling Under the Stars in Troy, New York. It was at the Joe Bruno Stadium. And I brought my fiance's little cousin by. This is around the time that I was first popping back into wrestling. And Cody Rhodes was still on the independent scene at the time, kind of coming back and forth between ROH and Japan. And so I got to meet, went to the meet and greet, paid the extra and all that. And I got to brush over with, I met Cody, I met Brandy, I met Rey Mysterio, who was awesome. I mean, Rey Mysterio was probably one of the coolest. He made sure to take the time, really sat down with her little cousin and really made his night. And then we went over and also got a nice, probably 10-15 minute long conversation with Mick Foley too, which was really cool. So
nice.
got a good mix there that night. It was pretty interesting to see all the different faces that ended up showing out. I got to see a match with Ricochet. Trying to think who else was there. I think Flip Gordon was another one that I got to see that night. I want to say it might have even been Ricochet and Flip Gordon facing that night, but it was pretty cool. It was set up in a baseball stadium, so it was like right underneath the lights and everything like that. And it was a really cool show, and they were all really, really classy. And that kind of got me back into looking at wrestling too, just because it was such a cool vibe and, kind of nice and inclusive, and everybody was there having a good time. So a good beer and chill kind of atmosphere for sure.
So a new theme here I have on the Rich Dickman Show, Zach, is anything you can do, I can do better. Okay. Last week we had Walter on. This week I'm gonna one up you. Okay. Even though you're a guest, I'm trying to be polite. I'm gonna one up you. All right. Ready? Here we go.
Wow.
Yeah,
really?
I appreciate that spirit.
Yeah. I almost went to a movie with Ethan Page. If he wasn't doing something else, he would have come to see Spider-Man with Chris O'C and I. So there's that. That's number one. Yeah. And then I reminded Ethan Page of that when I met him in person. And I said, hey, we were supposed to go to the movie. He said, oh, dude, we totally should have. And then, what were you going to say, Randy? I got more. There's more coming. I know, Zach is so impressed right now.
Yeah, no. I hope you just go where I hope you go.
Okay.
I hope you go where I hope you go. That's all.
It's
I'm
too much
saying.
pressure now. Too much pressure. And then Chris O'C and I had a very long conversation with Keith Lee right next to the wrestling ring, somewhere in Queens, New York. I shook his hand, took pictures. Keith Lee is a wonderful human being. Please come back soon, Keith. I miss you. I need Keith Lee in my life. And we met Riddle.
Yeah, what the fuck are they doing with him? Like nothing.
No, he's injured. He's got undisclosed injuries. Like it could be serious. Yeah,
Oh, that's
like they
terrible.
won't clear him. Yeah. I met Matt Riddle, right? And I said, "Hey, bro," and he's like, "Hey, bro," it's just like it's on TV. And in Austin Theory, when at 19 years old, I watched him wrestle and evolve. And I shook his hand and said, Mr. Theory, it's a pleasure watching you out there. So thanks, man. So I think that's it. So yeah, there you go. I've
That's
also
awesome, man. Yeah, I think the only one out of your list that I've run across was I got to see Matt Riddle in Albany at a NXT house show.
Oh,
So
yeah?
I got to see him when he
Ooh.
was over there, and that was pretty cool. Same kind of deal, like he was coming by. I think he was coming around. I want to say it was like cutting through one of the areas or something like that. He just happened to poke out for a second and, give the, hey, bro. And then, of course, gave the nice little finger wag, hey, bro, back, and kind of ducked away over into the back. I think he might have been signing up some autographs or something like that. One of
Yeah.
those merch stand, pressure you to buy it now autograph deals kind of thing.
Randy, when Riddle was involved in Evolve, he was doing the same thing. He'd come to the ring with the things like that, and he'd say, bro, and it was bro, and the whole bro thing, bro. And then, okay, so here's the last thing. When Ethan Page threw Darby Allin from the stage of La Boom at an Evolve show, from the stage into the ring post, I was right there for that. And I don't know if you've seen the video. I've tweeted it a couple times. I can send it again. So I have the video. So when they do that shit in AEW in a couple weeks, when they finally have their match, I saw it first.
That was an amazing spot. That reminded me, especially when I saw him get lawn darted recently. That immediately came to mind. When I saw that, I was like, oh man, it's crazy to see how much like he just throws his body around. I have so much respect for the crazy shit that comes out of Darby Allin's mind and into a wrestling ring.
I don't like Darby Allin. I don't like what he does in the wrestling ring, but I did see him wrestle Zack Sabre Jr. once, and that was fucking amazing. That was fucking amazing. And those two styles, I don't know how it worked, but it did. All right. Randy, I'm sorry. I think I interrupted you.
No, I just said that would be amazing.
Yeah, it would be amazing. Okay. Zach, we're going to talk about wrestling throughout the night, but we also have some other, our segments to go through. Otherwise, the fans will revolt. Randy, we don't want that to happen. So, jump in. Jump in. We're throwing it right to you, buddy. I don't know if you know this. I'm a professional advice giver since 2012. I've been doing this. Okay. So we can either give advice to some of our fans, or we can. Actually, we don't have any dick of the week, Randy. Do you have any dick of the week?
Yes,
Okay.
I do.
So
I have a good dick of the week.
So we can either do dick of the week or we can give advice first. What would you like to do, Mr. Perez?
Oh, now you tease me with the dick of the week. Now I have to.
All right. It's the first guy to make dick of the week come first. That sounded weird. Randy, get your story ready.
I'm going to get that for out of context.
This week's finalist.
He made the dick of the week come first.
And here's our first nominee.
All right. So, Zach, you can think of a nominee for yourself because we all got to come up with somebody for dick of the week, and then they got to win. I don't have anybody submitting articles tonight, which kind of sucks. But, Randy, what's your story, buddy?
Okay. I'm trying to save this image, and I'm going to... Exhibit A will be posted in the Discord live show chat. So you guys will have to come back. This is my girlfriend's parents' dog that we're watching while they're on vacation.
Oh.
And I would like to nominate this dog for Dick of the Week.
Okay.
Because
Got a fucked up lip.
She has pissed on my flip-flops twice. And that is absurd.
Huh.
That sucks. I should not have to worry about fucking flip-flops in my house getting pissed on.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to piss on that dog if she pisses on my flip-flops again. That's what's going to happen.
That should happen. You should piss. Kristen, can you record that? I would like to put that. We'll put it on Pornhub.
There's bound to be a category, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pissing on dogs. There's got to be a category somewhere. Gee, my God, that's a bunch of weird things. Yeah. All right. So you got what's the dog's name, Randy?
Coco.
Yeah.
And I sing the Copacabana song to her, but I say Coco Cabana.
Coco Banana.
Coco Banana. I don't know how it goes. I forget now.
So
you put me on the spot, and I forgot my spot.
You're close.
Coco. I got to tell you, there's hope for you out there because there's dog diapers, and I never thought they were a thing until I got a little Morkie who did the same exact thing to everything that I owned. He pissed on anything and everything. He pissed on my couch. He pissed on my radiators. He pissed on my toilet.
That
And
motherfucker needs to go
that was
outside.
almost close.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. And so he was everywhere in the house. And finally, we just gave up on the battle of trying to train him to just go outside because he's such a little dog that we stuck on the dog diapers. And it's made my life so much better ever since. It's like burning
dog
money
is
on the
17
dog,
years
but it's
old.
worth it.
That's awesome.
It's 17 years old. Like and they call her Sybil because she gets she has two personalities. Like she'll be sitting there, you'll be petting her, and then all of a sudden she'll try and take your hand off. Like it just comes whenever she feels like. So
Okay.
that's also why she's the dick of the week.
All right.
But
I've got a nomination, Randy. I got a nomination for Dick of the Week. All right. This is something that's really affecting me
okay.
personally. I nominate the mechanic at the garage who keeps ordering the wrong part for my wife's car. Okay. It's been 3 days now that my wife's car has been stuck at this garage because it needs a part fix. Now listen, it's an older car. Yeah, we got to get the new one eventually. You know, this is the same one that died on the highway. Remember that story from a few weeks ago? That's been deleted, so you can't hear it now. But
Yeah, I remember.
yeah. So
She get a Chevy Bolt.
no,
It's an EV.
we don't. No, we need.
It's they got 10 grand in
That's
incentives right
not
now.
what I'm talking about at all. That's not.
I'm just saying
Not
the
this.
2022 Chevy Bolt EVU is an SUV that is going to make electric vehicles really come to market. All right. And once we get solid state batteries,
Yeah.
that's what everyone's going to be driving. So
And, you know, gas at $4 a gallon. That's going to help that too. So, anyways, they have to order a part, right? And the wrong part keeps coming, which means I have to bring, because it's summertime, I got to bring the wife and the kids down to the mother-in-law's house, right? I got to drop the kids off at the mother-in-law's house. Then I got to bring my wife to work. Then I have to go into work another 35 minutes away, right? So I get to work. It's like 9:30. It's like, Jesus Christ, I should have been here 2 hours ago. All right. And then I got to pick my wife up. My wife gets out of work at 2. So I went in at 9:30. I'm leaving at 1:15 to go get my day. I got nothing done. I got to get it all done tomorrow, and tomorrow's even worse. Okay, because it's a day. If it wasn't for this goddamn part and these stupid mechanics ordering the wrong one over and over again, she'd have her car, and I wouldn't have any of this frustration. So that's why I nominate him for Dick of the Week. Zach, it's your turn. You have any nominations for Dick? These are more fun when we have news articles to read. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry for.
No, I think I do have one actually. Now that it's funny that you caught me at a perfect time because it's like meshing the two worlds together. So my Dick of the Week is actually, and they'll know exactly who they are. The one dickhead on Twitter who just always loves to just call me a brown noser about AEW. I know that it's at TAK something, and I'll let everybody else who wants to go search for it figure it out. But I'm going to go ahead and nominate him for Dick of the Week because it seems like he's got no life and he just wants to always comment on the shit that I'm doing. So I'm going to go ahead and shout you out because why not? Let's have fun.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Randy, you're muted, buddy.
I bet it's Jim Cornette's all account.
That would make
Yeah,
perfect
he's
sense,
sitting there.
honestly. I feel like I've probably pissed off that sect of Twitter at least once or twice.
Good. And you should. Wrestling Twitter is some of the worst, cringiest bullshit I've ever seen in my life. Like there's dudes who respond to wrestlers' accounts like it's real. And I don't know. They don't know what kayfabe is, right? They just think the shit's real. It's like, respond to something like Charlotte posted.
It's still real
Yeah.
to me, damn it.
It's like, oh, if you hadn't cheated, Rhea would have beat you or something. Like what the fuck are you talking about? She's talking about fucking working out with her goddamn fiance. She's not talking about Rhea Ripley. Like, what's wrong with you, you stupid asshole? Wrestling Twitter's awful. And the thing that drives me crazy, right, is that we want storylines. We want good written stories, okay? But then either story development takes too long to the fan or it didn't go the way they wanted. It's like, oh, this is terrible. What are they doing? You know what I'm talking about, Zach? WWE just did a story recently. I can't remember which one now, but people are expecting an immediate payoff, but this is one they're building for, to a big show. I don't know how you, I got much respect to you, bud, because I don't know how you put up with these assholes. They're awful.
It is really amazing sometimes, like the level of immaturity that exists in that community, and just like you can meet some really awesome people. Like wrestling is crazy like that. You know, you'll meet some really awesome people who share your opinions and all that good stuff, or you can just vibe with, even if you don't share the same opinions all the time. But
Yeah.
then you come across that special gray area of wrestling fan, of that just deep dark, why does this exist on the internet part of Twitter, that it just gets so gross so fast it tailspins. It's so funny to me sometimes when you see it, because you'll see like 7 normal comments come through, and then you'll scroll through and it'll be that one that's just hidden at the bottom, and you just know right then and there, you're like, oh, if it's hidden off the bat, something's going to be bad. This is going to be some awful hot take, or something about, like how this person looks like shit, or some just awful piece of shit comment out of left field somewhere that's like, why do you talk? I don't think anybody would mind if you just, fucking muted yourself from the world. That would be a good thing.
Yeah. You know what? Get off Twitter, you jerk. Okay, we got to get our winner here. So Randy,
That's why I don't post shit hardly.
yeah, and you better
I don't
off.
like to have opinions, because then people hold me accountable.
Expert judges.
I retweet the show and
Consensus.
say stuff.
This
Oh,
week's
you're
Dick of the
playing a
Week
bumper.
award goes to
All right, so I've given this a lot of thought. All right, and we had an extended conversation about how horrible the Twitter people and Zach's the unhappy fan, but. Zach, it's probably your fault. You got to think about it, right? Like, you probably said something that this guy didn't like, and he's just responding and reacting to you, right? So if you just hadn't said that thing, we wouldn't have had a problem. So your dick of the week is basically your fault. You know what I mean? You see me?
Yeah,
thinking?
that definitely that checks out, because that's what they tell me. I hear it, so it's got to be true.
Right. So you can't nominate your own self-created problem, because that's like cheating. So that's eliminated. All right. And then my deal with my stupid mechanic and the stupid part, that's awful. That really is awful. All right. It's affecting me in such negative ways. I can't go on Walter's show tomorrow, Randy, because of it. Right. I have to go pick fucking everybody up again. But
Oh man, you were really looking forward to that, man.
yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. But I can't help but empathize with a man putting his foot into something cold and wet and gross. Okay, is just the worst feeling in the world. It's not like you're stepping in warm piss where it's not that bad. It's kind of relaxing. No, it's that cold, stale piss. You're not expecting it, and you probably had a sock on, because I wear flip-flops with socks sometimes. My feet get cold, so I have to cover them. But then your sock is wet and your foot is wet and it smells like piss. It's awful. That is awful, Randy. Coco is the absolute dick of the week this week. Good job.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
They're going to be so pissed at you. You're going to get cussed out. They're going to come after you, Rim. You better get ready.
What are you talking about?
All right.
Did you set me
They
up?
fucking love that dog.
Did you set me up?
They
set
fucking
you up.
love that dog. I'm going to make them listen to just that part.
Oh.
And then they're going to come after you hard.
Randy, I throw you a bone. Because you got a dog.
Now you're gonna have a Keanu Reeves looking assassin after you.
That's
just
right.
trying to hunt you down. You're gonna have like 5 movies you're gonna have to deal with John Wick coming after you too. It's just gonna be terrible.
Wait, the villain never lasts that long.
She's literally
You
trying
might be
to
the one that
bite
just
Kristen
gained
right
scars over the trilogy.
Yeah.
now.
Oh, all over the stupid dog. All right. Well, all right. Let's. Fuck you, Randy, setting me up like that. All right. Let's give some. We're gonna give some advice. This will be fun.
You want segments? We've got segments. It's Thinking with Your Dickman.
What?
Did Randy? Did that happen? Yeah.
This.
Oh, no, you get an apple pie. Darn. Okay, Zach, I've been giving advice for a long time. It used to be to World of Warcraft players, and now it's to my listeners here at TRDS. People write us with their problems. You know, we had a co-host who used to read these for me, so I didn't have to, but now I have to read them. When this one came in, they must have known you were coming on the show. But Jared writes into us. I'm a huge wrestling fan, much like you guys. I recently saw a video posted on social media where the gender reveal was a WWE-style match, with the contestants wearing either pink or blue as a representation of the respective genders. Unfortunately, the comments veered away from the wholesome nature of the reveal and into the topic of whether the child's gender should be assumed. That got me thinking, why don't we just start calling it a penis no penis reveal party? Maybe a vagina no vagina reveal party. Or we could go with the penis or vagina reveal party. Those are renamings from a simpleton's mind, so I bet you gentlemen can come up with something better. What do you think? We keep the color scheme, but do a little renaming in the interest of fun. Oh, I thought this was a wrestling question. I don't read these beforehand, Zach, and all I saw was a WWE thing. So
That's a fucking landmine, bro.
yeah.
That was great. That took such a left turn so fast.
It went right off a cliff. Like,
Oh, hey, it's Coco Dick of the
like
Week.
here's the dig
on
of the
camera,
week.
right on camera. Patreon.com/Rich
Yep.
Dickman. You can see the video. Wow. So first of all, have you guys seen the video of that gender reveal wrestling match?
I did actually see that one. It's funny that it came across because I want to say that I might have even come across it mixing ideas here. I think it was What Culture that I might have seen it on, because I want to say it might have been out in Britain or something like that. The original video, if I'm not mistaken, I forget.
And they did like a false finish that led into a reversal, some shit. So yeah, it was funny. Randy, you saw it?
Kristen brought it to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kristen brought it to me. I think she got it from TikTok.
Nice. Okay.
Damn Chinese
All right, so at least we're all on the same
social
page.
platform.
Yeah. So in that gender reveal, Randy, no, we don't do this stuff. Okay, we don't do this. We here at the Rich Dickman Show, we assume genders. Okay, and we call you by what you look like. Especially Randy. Randy does not want to be confused.
Whoa, easy, bud. No, I'm full in favor of whatever you want me to call you. Just give me a heads up and don't yell at me if I fuck up.
Yeah, that's it. Zach, do you have thoughts on a penis, no penis party? That sounds like
I
something
definitely
else.
think that, yeah, I don't think that anybody who would willingly accept an invite to that should be invited to one of those parties in the first place. So I think that that's just going to end up with a lot of people on watch lists somewhere. And I think that it's not the type of party you're trying to convey whatsoever, or that anybody should ever want to attend. So I think that that's probably not the best name for it. And I think that there's probably a better way, like maybe throw in a third contender. I don't know, like just even out the playing field a little bit, or just, have it called a draw. I don't know. I try and be neutral.
Yeah. I mean, you can always go the way of like, hey, you're invited to Lucy's gender assuming party. Come be a part of the fun. At least you're honest about what you're doing, right? You're not hiding anything.
Yep.
Yeah. There's that.
Exactly. That's a better approach for sure.
Yeah. Or we can just go like the card will have to be like a page long, but it's like, please come to Lucy's gender assigned at birth, but not assumed, and definitely allowing the child to make their own choice when they're older party. It's a lot of words. It's a lot of
Identity celebration
I like
party.
that one.
words. Ooh. But how can we celebrate
There
if they
we
haven't
go.
chosen their identity? Wait a second. I like it. I like
Because we can go with two different names, perhaps, right? That way, we've got both sides of the coin, and it's essentially, an identity party celebrating the child coming into the world, more so than the actual reveal of the gender. And then that way, you can kind of choose depending on if you want that to be a part of it or not. You can kind of include or disclude it, and then that way too, if you want to play it on both sides, you at least have maybe an option. You can go toss it between both.
I got another one. The get ready to buy me a bunch of presents party. Right? Yeah, because you're gonna get me presents for the shower and for the birth. and for the if you're a Christian, the baptism, and then you got like if they do 6 months, or get ready to buy me presents. I like that. All right, that was not as that was very anticlimactic, Randy. I don't appreciate Jared's question.
I apologize.
Yeah, it's not your fault. I thought we were going like WWE type, wrestling knowledge. Yeah. Hey, Randy. Randy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think you can executive produce some type of internet wrestling quiz?
No.
No? Okay. All right. Let's move on.
At least I'm honest.
Yeah, thank you. So Zach, AEW just hit got fans back. They're about to hit the road again. So I'm trying to say, and in a couple of weeks, WWE brings all the fans back, right? If any of the wrestling fans in the audience notice that, especially on the WWE side, the storylines have been lacking outside of a couple like Roman Reigns and RK Bro, but it's been very just trying to get week to week, and hopefully it gets better. How much of the not great product would you say is attributed to having no fans, right? The fans provide you instant feedback for what's working and what isn't. They give you motivation to do better every week. And without the fans, you're kind of just treading water, right?
Yeah, I think that has played a big role in a lot of the presentation of the product as a whole during the kind of like pandemic era, I guess we'll kind of look back on it as. But it's been interesting to me to see the moments of kind of like teetering between trying to innovate in the time and trying to stagnate in the time. And I feel like, unfortunately, now we've reached that period of time where we're kind of stagnating a little bit because it's that anticipation is building so hard for the fan returns and all that. But at the same time, like, I think one of the things that will be best to look back on it on, especially, is the people who managed to innovate the most during the time and kind of try to come up with new ways and different presentations of trying to make it so that a silent dead building with nobody in it is actually kind of entertaining, which is a really hard thing to do. And I was pretty amazed that as many wrestling companies managed to pull it off as they did.
Well, at the very heart, like, wrestling is improv, right? So you should be able to adapt to whatever your surrounding is, right? So those who excel at improv and excel at wrestling can make that interesting content, so to speak. Look at how they do like the just think off the top of my head, Roman Reigns and Kevin Owens, Last Man Standing, right? How they took that like beyond the stage and used just innovative. It was very innovative to me, is what I'm trying to say. And I don't think that if fans were there, they would have gone that direction, because how many fans are going to see that except the ones right in front of them? So it's giving the opportunity to the creative wrestlers to actually be more successful, right? As you said.
Right, definitely. And I think that it shined a spotlight on some of the people who were able to kind of connect with fans on a different level, because being able to connect with the fans when they're not there is a completely different beast than being able to connect with them when they're live. Because you see the people who are able to play to the crowd, and that is a very important thing. But to then be able to resonate beyond that another level and be able to, resonate through like clips being passed around of you and to kind of ooze that charisma through that kind of next layer. I think that's what kind of separates a lot of the better wrestlers from the average wrestlers, I guess is the term I could use to be friendly. But, it's like it just, in general, you kind of see that creativity kind of poke through and kind of wait out the differences a lot, which is pretty cool.
Right.
I think Sammy Guevara is doing a really good job of that myself. I think his vlog's doing really well, and I find it enjoyable whenever I watch it. So I think he's a good up and comer. I really like Sammy. Describing that, Spanish God. Sorry, Rib.
I thought he was a sex god.
He was half of Lasix gods with Chris Jericho.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right. No, I knew of Sammy Guevara when they were just doing being the elite. Well, they were starting to cup the company. He was around, and he was weird. I wish I knew more about some of those guys. Like I don't have it in me to watch any more wrestling. There's so much that I have to watch to keep up with the WWE product. I don't have time for anything else. I run out of time.
You know what you do? You DVR it on Monday, and then that way you play it on Mondays instead of Raw. And then that way you can just trick yourself into believing. And then that way, before you know it, you'll realize that you wanted to replace it all along.
Yeah. You know how some people are born Yankees fans, Zach? Well, I'm born a Raw fan because I grew up watching, well, first it was primetime wrestling and then Monday Night Raw with my father every Monday night. And now that I'm doing it again after 10 years of not, like, I'm not watching it with my dad, obviously, but I'm just a Raw loyalist. I wouldn't watch anything else, just out of habit at this point, but that's okay.
I can completely understand that because it's funny. That's actually pretty much the way that I got started into wrestling. The same deal. I'd stay up on Monday nights with my dad. We'd sit there and watch it and basically just mark out over all the stuff. And it seems like that's a big kind of connection point with a lot of people, is it's kind of got that generational feel to it of like, you know, my father passed it down and his father before him and all that stuff. You know, it's kind of got that cool parallel to it.
Yeah. You know, thinking of growing up, you know, geez, I'm 40 years old now, right? And the NWO happened freaking 25 years ago. So I'm thinking it's hard to wrap my mind around that I was 15 when the NWO was forming in July of 96. To me, it's always been when I was 20 something, right? But just, yeah, so all those memories just kind of compact and condense time. And, you know, it's weird what you remember and when and how wrong you were at the time. But man, yeah. Zach, how old are you? Are you,
it's crazy
you an old man like
about.
me? You young guy?
I'm not actually. I was just going to say I'm 26. So
Okay.
I was born in February of 95. So I was just, you know, a little over a year at the time of all that. And funny enough,
crazy.
I actually probably started watching it around like 97, 98. I was like, you know, 2-3 years old, like jumping around on the couch, you know, like trying to break my neck off of it, doing dives and all that good stuff.
Dude, freaking
February of 90 here. And I started watching it in 97 too, but I was 7 years old. That's,
wow.
You know.
When Zach was born, Nitro wasn't even a
cool.
thing yet, Randy. My God. I'm too old for this. I'm gonna quit. You're gonna take over. I'm just gonna quit. Or if Mr. Dickman allows it. Jesus Christ. You two kids, like Randy, you oh man, like all the wrestling you guys missed. How much old stuff do you go back and watch, Zach? Do you go back to watch any of the Attitude Era that you may have been too young to remember, or any of the Monday Night Wars?
Yeah, you know, my era that I kind of like mostly watch is definitely Attitude Era. You know, that's what I grew up on. And especially when I was young watching wrestling, the main way I consumed it was through the internet. So I was big, you know, wrestling forums, watching GIFs and videos, whatever could kind of get passed around. And my young impressionable mind being destroyed by all these older people giving me horrible takes about the wrestling that I was watching and all that good stuff. So I got dipped into the fire pretty young from there, but I watched a lot of stuff from like probably the era that I would say I probably watched the most is from like 92 on in the WWE. But every once in a while too, I go through and watch, you know, some of the classic matches from like the 80s and stuff like that. But my main era is probably like that I stay on repeat is like from like 94 up until probably about like 2008 until they brought in WWE ECW and it started to get too weird.
Right. Yeah.
Dude, the only wrestling I've gone back to watch is there was a show on Post Wrestling called Keeping It 2000 where they went back and watched 2000 WCW Nitro. And so every 2 weeks they did the podcast. So I would watch that episode of Nitro. And it was amazing.
Amazingly bad.
It was the craziest shit. Yeah, because I never watched Nitro back then. I only watched Raw. So, you know, I didn't even know it existed.
Same. I
But,
experienced it all through the network when it kind of like all hit there because I didn't watch it really back then either. I used to be a WWF loyalist for the longest time.
You know what you guys are missing out on? Okay, watching it in it then its history, because you guys know what happens. You're missing out on that part where you're looking over at the person you're with and you're like, is this real? Like, you know, when Scott Hall and Kevin Nash are coming down and they're jumping in the ring on that Monday Nitro and look, wait, what's happening? Like, is this real? And then we get to the Stone Cold Vince McMahon stuff, and he just that little question. Shit, he's not really getting arrested, is he? Right? Just those little things, because you've never seen that stuff before.
That happened in my hometown too. The arrest.
That was at the Pepsi Arena in Albany?
It was. Yep, that's right. Yep. Yeah. That's awesome. That's one of my big things too. I always go back and watch a lot of the stuff that happened at the Pepsi because it's always cool to see. You can see like the little backdrop of the Pepsi Arena, like the little weird parking lot area that they have there, kind of up on a hill, and you can see it just off in the background while he's getting arrested and while he's trying to hit people with his truck and all those good times.
That's great. Yeah, I got the Hartford Civic Center here, and we've had WrestleMania.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we had several Survivor Series. Undertaker's debut in 1990. I was at that Survivor Series. I was at WrestleMania 11. Judgment Day in 2000 when Hell in a Cell between Triple H and Mick Foley or Cactus Jack. I was there for that. And Vengeance Day 2004. Vengeance Day or Vengeance? One of those. I was there for that one too. Money in the Bank 2019, Zach. We ended up on the floor, and then Brock Lesnar came out, and that was awful. Stupid Brock Lesnar.
Oh, that's crazy because I was actually at the Raw. I want to say it was maybe right after Money in the Bank that year because it would have been was it that show right after that they announced the 24/7 championship? I think that it might have been, if I recall right, because I think that it was pretty fresh because I remember people buzzing kind of in the way to Raw about Brock Lesnar winning and all that stuff.
Oh, no shit. Yeah, because Hartford to Albany is only 3 hours, so that's totally possible.
That's crazy to think about.
Beatbox. Yeah, it's when I was writing for the WWEpodcast.com, and I wrote about the Beast in the Bank and how it was a good thing. But then they ruined it because he blew his wad too early. Brock Lesnar should have held that goddamn Money in the Bank contract for forever, right? And just show up every once in a while, just doing his Brock Lesnar thing and just decide to take the title whenever he That's what they should have done. Fantasy booking. Randy, you want to
they should have just let him be a threat forever.
Yeah. Yeah, that was way more interesting. It was way more interesting watching Seth Rollins always looking over his shoulder for Brock than losing it and then getting it back a month later. That was dumb. It was fucking stupid. I appreciate them having.
Yeah, I wrote a fantasy booking. It was like a 7-week progression storyline of Bray Wyatt going to a psych ward, and like meeting people.
Dude, that might be really happening right now, man. You insensitive asshole. Yeah. God damn.
No. Like this was years ago. I have it on my phone. So if it's really happening, then I predicted Macho Man's death. By accident, somebody said, "Hey, is Macho Man Randy Savage alive?" And I said, "No, I think he died of a heart attack." Fucking week later, he was dead.
Died of a heart attack and crashed his car. God damn, that's sad. Fuck. I wish we had Macho Man.
That's a rough day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder. You know what? No, actually, you know what? Macho went in 2011. All right, because in 2012 was when everything got stupid. Macho definitely would have been canceled for something like Hulk Hogan type stuff. Right? You know this, right, Zach? I mean, there's no way Macho Man Randy Savage would have an open platform to speak right now.
I think that something crazy would have happened by now. I just can't see like something not coming up. Like, you know what I feel like probably would have happened is you remember that WWE 2K games event that like had a whole bunch of controversy come out. And I think I want to say Jim Ross even ended up getting fired for that because Ric Flair kind of went off on his own and started talking and he might have had a few drinks and that was kind of what it reminded me of,
Yeah, it was wild. Poor Jim Ross getting fired for stupid Ric Flair. God damn.
I know. Hey, I
Yeah.
feel like that
You
would
guys
have
watch-
probably
oh,
ended
sorry.
up something happening there with Randy. You know what I mean? Like some sort of press event or something like that. Somebody would have come out with something and he would have said something back. Or I can just imagine in the YouTube era how beautiful those clips would be that would have come out from him.
Oh my god. Oh yeah, I don't like that.
That and he
color
was real
scheme.
possessive.
Yeah, yeah.
And they caught him, like he had a surveillance system set up for his girlfriend at one point at her house. And then so today, with today's surveillance equipment, imagine what he
Yeah.
could do. And
Yeah.
with Tinder, how many girlfriends he could have.
Macho Man.
He could survey, 3/4 of the city.
Macho Man would not survive modern day feminism. Yeah, he would have been canceled long ago if he hadn't killed him. got
He would
killed
just be
and
sitting there
died.
on Tinder swiping right all day long.
Yeah. Ooh yeah. Ooh yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah. Be a ringtone. All right, let's get into some voicemails here.
Oh, he could have been a GPS voice.
Turn right. Yeah.
That would have been an excellent.
Yeah, it's been so much fun. Oh well. In that multiverse, there's another
Thanks
reality
for calling the
where he
Dickman
exists,
line
Randy.
Yes.
Yeah.
at 860
Oh, Randy, write down Rick and Morty.
4776.
Don't let me forget.
Please leave a message after the beep. It's
All right.
voicemails.
Zach, I play, some shows play their voicemails at the end of the show, like after it's all over. Not here. I play them during the show. So good luck trying to find them, those of you who like to record it. No, just kidding. All right, here we go.
Hey, yeah, this is for Randy. This is the Whiskey Dick chant that he wanted us to hear. Can you gonna play it, Jimmy?
No, he's playing that.
Oh, he ain't playing it. Never mind. Well, let me talk about it in a minute. We are up here at Red River Gorge on vacation. This is Randy's mother and father-in-law with his aunt and uncle, Tony and Hazel. We're having a good time and missing my baby girl and Randy. And now we got a song to play for you. Hang on a second.
You know you can't do that. Copyright music.
It's terrible.
There you go. Love you
Oh.
guys.
I couldn't hear that.
Whiskey Dick all the way. Bye.
Jesus.
Okay.
There you go.
What was the song? Like, it didn't come through.
It said, like at the end, it said, Whiskey Dick. That's all I really understood out of it. Yeah. All right. So that's, don't worry.
That's great.
I'll bleep out the name that they shouldn't have used. I'll take care of it. I'll probably forget. So if I forget, tell me and I'll do it again. I'm going to forget.
Okay, don't forget.
Shit.
Hey, Rem, don't forget the thing with the stuff.
I'm totally going to forget. Okay. Next voicemail. Beep, beep, beep.
Randy.
It's Flo.
It's Flo Euphoria here. Just getting home after a long day of exporting arms for foreign countries. Afghanistan and Iran. You know, the usual. Oh. Oh, it's just a new world. It's a new dawn. 165 gang. Geez Louise. Rest in peace, John McAfee. Rest in peace, Fed Smoker. Joe Schmo is a boss. Hit me up at Flow Euphoria at whitegirlsfuckdogs.com.
That's a real thing.
Euphoria at whitegirlsfuckdogs.com.
Yeah. Joe Schmo sent me a link where I can get my own fucked up handle like that. I haven't done it yet because I'm lazy and I forgot. But yeah, thank you, Flo. Thank you, Flo.
Wow.
165 gang. Yep, Zach, he was on episode 165. You're 167, so I was able to put all that together. I hope this is 167, Randy. Usually I put the episode number. You still there, Zach, or did you quit on us?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that I want to say that I saw earlier. I think you are on 167. I think I can confirm. So,
Okay, thank God.
Yep.
Thank God. Okay, all right, got another voicemail here.
Hey, it's Matt, the host of that show that shouldn't be named, I guess now is what we're doing. Walter was great. Fuck you guys.
Fuck you, Matt. That's not what we're doing right now. That Walter said that for some reason. I don't know why. All right. We say not for human consumption podcast all the time. NFHCpodcast.com. Okay. Jesus. These guys,
Rimdrinkscome.com.
No, that's not it.
Also.
That's not. And Matt,
Yeah.
when you're giving out, no, I'm not going to say anything. It's richdickman.com.
Or Matt, Zach. Sorry, I'm getting everyone confused. You could advertise rimdrinkscome.com. I'm just saying. That is an option that
He's
you
got
have.
sponsors
Is-
that would never.
As a
is
free
that
man
domain
with a Twitter.
available?
No.
No, it's already purchased.
Our friends at NFHC Podcast own it, and it redirects to nfhcpodcast.com.
That's great. That's a great use of domain name right there.
Yeah. Okay, I got a.
They also purchased the original show's domain, but because it started out on a WordPress site, that's how they started off the relationship with the show.
Yeah. Well, no.
It's pretty interesting.
What happened is in the episode titled Voicemails, I think it was number 27, many years ago, I had my old co-host Huell Hauser call a couple different podcasts and live on the air and just leave them voicemails. And Not for Human Consumption Podcast was one of them, and he left them a voicemail. So they listened to that voicemail on their episode, and then during their episode, Matt went on and bought our domain name because we were just using a WordPress site, and I had paid for a domain. So they bought richdickmanshow.com and redirected it to their website. All right.
That's such a good troll.
Yeah, it is. Now we're all best of friends, or podcast best friends, and it doesn't sound like it at all because they're really mean to me. Really, really mean to me. Okay, here's it.
They love you, Rim.
Yeah, no, most of them do. All right, let's play this.
Health insurance benefits.
Oh.
Yes, hello? My name is Mary, and I'm with the Division of Health Insurance Benefits, and I have some recent updates for you that you should be aware of. So
Okay.
please call me back at 844-877-0492. So you know, the new health insurance relief program has been quickly approved by your state as of May 25th. As a U.S. citizen, you now qualify for a significantly reduced rate for health insurance.
I'm going to
It's
call
actually
her.
about 50% savings compared to market plans right now.
Randy,
or what you
I'm
already
going to
might
call that
have.
number. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
These
going to call that
health
number right now.
plans
Do
provide
it.
'Cause
Use
yeah.
the Google Voice.
All right, here we go. I don't know if you're going to be able to hear it because this didn't work last time I tried.
Hello, I am a
Oh.
virtual assistant with the Division of Health Insurance Benefits for your state. Due to state requirements, we have
Yeah,
been
we can
commissioned
hear.
to provide you
Oh.
with the latest updates regarding new low-cost medical plans and benefits that have been approved and released to
what do you
provide
think the
additional
accent's gonna be?
financial relief during these difficult times. These private medical plans are offered to U.S. citizens at a significant
what are my
discount
options?
with an
Jesus
average
Christ.
savings of 50% off
wanna
compared to
save
market
money.
plans. This is a great savings for you and your family, and more importantly, provides peace of mind knowing
Yeah,
you
this
have
is just a bot,
100%
Rim.
coverage for all medical and
But
prescription
usually give you
drugs with
an
zero
option so you can
copays.
talk to somebody.
It is valid anywhere in
Copies.
the U.S. and allows you to visit the very best doctors.
Okay.
It also provides the much-needed income protection
Should I
in
press
case
1?
you become critically ill and cannot pay bills such as
Try
credit
it.
cards, mortgage, and other related expenses.
No.
We saw a lot of this during the peak of the
See,
COVID
yeah,
crisis
no,
and now
I know
have a
this
solution
business,
to
Rim. I know
protect you
the
from this. Using the
telemarketing
latest
business a
artificial
little bit.
intelligence automation,
What I can
you are
say
now able
is
to obtain full
this is
details
just a bot.
and an instant quote for these plans
Like, it's
designed
not gonna
specifically
stop.
for you and your situation.
What?
So
This is the
to
future.
Use this AI automation to receive a quote, I need to have you write down the
Oh.
website, and I can also
It's
deliver
AI
an SMS
automation.
text with a link that will provide you the information
They
in an
won't-
efficient manner.
What? I have to go to a...
Would you like to hear
No.
the website and receive this text?
No. Yes. 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 Hello? I don't know if they can hear me.
I am
right.
sorry, my responses are limited. I just need to know, would you like to
Yes.
hear the website and receive this text?
It's an AI,
Please
man.
state yes or no.
Yes. Yes, yeah. Oh, she can't hear me. I'm not set up for her to hear me. This wouldn't have worked anyways. Goddamn. Maybe I am. All right, that's enough. Zach, I hope you had fun with our voicemails.
Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy that there's an AI that sophisticated already?
It's all over. We got a scary future ahead of
It's
us.
wild to think that like how much of that I get through to my phone a day, and like just the rat hole that I could probably go down if I were to actually go through and like actually try to respond to some of these outlandish people that try to hit me up on my phone.
I try to record them. I record as many of them as I can, and I try to see how far I can get. And usually they cut you off because they pick up. I'm not good at it yet. I'm not like freaking Kit Boga and keep these guys going for 4 hours at a time.
My favorite
right.
gig to do with them when I answer is to go through and pretend like I'm the Ring, and I just start repeating in a really hushed tone 7 days, and that usually gets them to hang up and get freaked out pretty fast.
Really? That's awesome. That's
Yeah. Don't forget, Rem, they're coming for you. Making Coco Dick of the Week, like they're gonna hunt you down and they're gonna fillet you.
Oh, you're crazy family.
And you're gonna like, you know, Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
The episode how the replicants, they had the Rick without the skin. That's what you're gonna look like.
Okay. So thank you for saying Rick and Morty. Zach, are you a Rick and Morty watcher? Are you a fan? Do you know what we're talking about?
Definitely, yeah. I'm a big Rick and Morty fan.
Perfect. Are you caught up with the latest episode? I don't want to spoil anything.
I am. Yep, I actually just watched it with my fiance yesterday.
All right. This is one of those Rick and Morty episodes, right? If you haven't seen it yet, that just takes you around in circles and circles and circles, and you have no idea where you are when it ends up. Okay. Randy, I had to watch it twice.
Me too, bro.
Yeah.
And I'm still a little fuzzy. I watched it twice and listened to a podcast dissecting it, and I'm still like, okay, so they were going to start off, like, my favorite part of the episode is they were going to start off killing the Christian God. Like, that was going to be their day. And then it just spiraled out of control from there. Like,
yeah.
Oh, man. It's so good.
So Zach, at what point did you think, oh, this is just going to keep, none of these people are real, they're just going to keep going and going? Because we've seen this before in Rick and Morty, but how long did it take for you to catch on what was happening?
You know, it took me a few times, especially like during the process of them at the beginning. It just felt like they were like leading you so perfectly through each. It felt like, you know, like to bring it back to wrestling, like false finishes, you know, like coming like you're like, oh, that's definitely it. Okay, we're on to the real story. Oh, that's definitely it. Okay, now we're going to the real house. Oh, no, now. I felt like I did that like 5 times at least.
Yeah, I love the mind bendiness of it. Season 2, episode 4. What's it called? I don't remember. But the memories they had to remember, and everybody showed up. Was
that Morty's mind benders?
Nope. That was season 3. Andy, you know what episode I'm talking about, right? Where they had to the aliens were implanting themselves in memories.
They had the memory crystals in the basement. Morty had them.
That's Morty Mindbenders. No, see, now I got to look it up. All right, because now you guys are pissing me off here. Rick, hold on, I got to learn how to type Rick and Morty episodes. Okay, Rick in season 4. Season 4. No, I don't want season 4. I want season 2. Randy, talk about something real quick.
I'm a banana. I'm a banana. And I'm dancing because I'm a banana. Oh, bananas are good for like 2 days. And then they get too ripe because I'm a banana. You got to see that on Patreon. That's a little bonus.
No, episode 4 of season 2, Total Recall. They had the parasites.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. There you go. All right. I had to get that one.
Oh, so what about the one with the parasite, the friend parasite? like the imaginary people.
That's the one. Total Rickroll. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Now I know what you. Yeah. Now I pick up what you. That's where Mr. Poopy Butthole gets shot by Beth.
Yes. Yeah. Zach, did you ever think that you'd be on a podcast with a banana?
You know, this is a first. I have to say, in the modern age, this is some groundbreaking stuff that we're doing right here, and I'm happy to be a part of it.
God damn it, Randy. God damn it. Well, I enjoyed this week's Rick and Morty, and I'm glad that they're back. Yep.
This is my Luke Gallows sour face, man. I ate something sour.
I know there was something else I wanted. So you distracted me, Randy. Now I can't think of. Okay, let's get. Do you want to let? I'm going to let our audience know. I should have done this at the beginning of the show. But you and I, Randy, recorded a Patreon bonus episode last night where we had a bracket tournament of potential new intro songs for the Rich Dickman Show, and we also rambled in between, called Rem and Randy Rambling. It's on the Patreon now. Patreon.com/Rich Dickman. Get in there, check it out. All right, I think it's pretty good. I think it's really good content. All right, it's way better than you're up. Okay, so you know what, Randy? No more goddamn fucking camera things because it's just distracting me, and I'm trying to make a point. I'm trying. Hey, Zach.
Okay. Rim, I'm trying to figure out how to work this newfangled Snap Camera app that I installed literally seconds before the show.
Whose side are you on, Zach? Are you a Dave Meltzer guy or a Jim Cornette guy?
I probably fall closer to the Meltzer side of the scope, I guess I would say.
Yeah. Now, do you listen?
Yeah, it's like being center left. That's how I would describe myself. You know what I mean?
That is really a weirdly perfect way to look at it sometimes. It really is.
Do you listen to Conrad Thompson's podcasts?
You know, I haven't been listening for a long time, but he's definitely one of the ones that I do listen to more often when I do listen.
Let me complain about Conrad for a second. I almost had him on the show about a year and a half ago. We never were able to work out a time, and now he's too big and too busy, which is great.
Oh shit!
Yeah, no,
selling mortgages, dude.
Yeah, no,
I applaud that.
I respect his.
I might give him a call one day.
And his podcast empire, and they add free shows and all that stuff. Okay, cool. But Jesus Christ, I'm trying to listen to one of these podcasts, right? And it's 6 minutes. 6 minutes of commercial and intro before the first words are spoken. All right, that's 6 minutes of fucking commercials and the goddamn intro that goes on for 3 minutes. I knew my old intro was long. I get it, but that was a
Joe
joke.
Rogan doesn't even do that much.
Yeah, 6 minutes of commercial.
You know?
All right, so then they're into the show. All right, Zach, stop me if I'm wrong, but within 3 minutes of the first words of the show, another commercial hits. Boom, another commercial. And they used to be not generic. They used to be. They used to be built into the show where if Conrad and Bruce Pritchard doing a podcast and say, hey, Bruce, let's talk about Manscaped. And they would just do a commercial together and then move on to the show. But now they're pre-produced. They're inserted at the oddest,
that's terrible.
Yeah, at the oddest points of a conversation. It's the weirdest thing. And a few weeks ago, I'm listening to both the Bruce Pritchard podcast and the Eric Bischoff podcast. And it's every minute and a half you hear, psst, have you gotten to Geico yet? Like, what the hell is this?
Oh.
Like, who stole your dog? Like, what the fuck? Why do I have a Geico commercial in my ears? Like, Zach, have you heard this? Like, isn't this does it drive you mental?
Yeah, I think that it's like a big problem with podcasts in general is that it's kind of gone to this like overly added out space. It feels like, like almost like driving along a highway and like instead of exit signs, it's just billboards with the exit sign at the bottom. It's like it seems like way more distracting than it's gaining at this point of the advertisement. Yeah. Like I end up finding myself just like sitting like with my finger hovering over a button on Spotify, just waiting to like fast forward, the skip button, the 15-second button or the 10-second button, whatever it is, has become like my best friend.
It's awful. It's awful. So I can tell you.
Yeah, and here at the Rich Dickman Show, we don't have any advertisements except for the new Chevy Volt EVU.
That's right. We'll never.
All right, this is an SUV
advertisement on the
electric
show.
vehicle with a 309-mile range. All right, it's got the adaptive cruise control. It's got the 360-degree camera so that you know what's going around all around your car whenever you're backing up. You know, the 2022 Chevy Bolt.
Yeah.
The only problem with it is you get a level 2 charger if you purchase one right now. Chevy will have one installed for you. Is it is only 25 miles per hour, 25 miles per hour charged. So it's, you know, you can't get that full range in an overnight
They didn't
charge.
want us to talk about the negatives. You got to keep it positive, bro.
Well, I'm just giving it an honest review because, you know, I'm an influencer now, Rim. I don't know if I told you this.
You got to do plastic surgery to your eyes first to make you Korean. Then you can be an influencer. Do you see that guy?
Jesus Christ.
No, it wasn't Jesus Christ. It was some.
I don't think you
British-
can say that.
No, it was some British influencer. Zach, you know what I'm talking about, right? This guy.
I saw what you were talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, he had
It's
like
funny.
12
I
plastic
think I
surgeries.
just came across that story today.
Yeah. The worst part of the story, isn't that he got the plastic surgery to make his eyes more Korean so he could look like the BTS band. I've never even heard their fucking music, and they have a McDonald's meal. Like, what the hell is that? But the worst part of that story is that he's referred to
I was going to be a McDonald's influencer. That's right. Thank you for reminding me, Rim.
as an influencer. How are you an influencer if I've never heard of you?
Yeah.
Like, all right, I heard of Randy. He can be an influencer, but who's this British guy? I don't understand it. Zach, are you a wrestling influencer? Like, would you consider yourself an influencer in the world of wrestling?
I think that I like shy away from that term as much as possible. I think the term influencer has become like the weirdest, like it's like being, you know, like a bartender and like calling yourself a sommelier. Like that's what it comes across as. It's like, you know, it's not really the same thing, you know, what you're trying to say it is.
Hey, lady, welcome to my bar.
Don't talk
Let me
about
chop the
grifts.
wine.
All right. Don't call a grift a grift.
Yeah. All right. Let's, what else we got? We got something else here, Randy? Because I can make fun of influencers.
Oh, dude, I got to tell you a story.
Oh, all right. Get your story in.
So, yeah, the other night we were laying in bed. It was Kristen and I, and I may have had a little bit of the marijuana. And
legal in Connecticut today.
I was going through Facebook. Yeah, congratulations,
Thanks.
man. You
Happy
can
legal
smoke like
day,
a free man,
Zach.
as
Happy
Adam
legal
from
day.
Houston would say.
Happy legal day.
Yeah, and I had remembered that earlier that day I was on Facebook and noticed this picture of a child in front of a billboard, and I zoomed in to see what it said, and it said FTC Pro Wrestling. And this is for like down around where I'm from. And I was like, what is that? So I did a little search. There's a local promotion doing a show called Clusterfuck on July 17th. And we're getting front row seats.
Hell yeah.
And we're going to be there. Yeah. And I want to invite you down to do a live podcast, but I know you won't come.
No.
But we could totally take this thing over. Like their podcast was terrible. But at the same time, I found out that I had an Instagram account and my handle is bangersmf. And like, you know, there's people who I respect who don't know a lot about my lifestyle that would be like, what does bangersmf mean?
Yeah.
So it was a fun night there Tuesday.
Get a hold of the promotions
and that's
people.
my story.
Randy, get a hold of the promotions people and say, hey, my name's Randy Banders. I'm part of
Jock Sampson.
Okay, I'm part of the Rich
Jock
Dickman
Sampson.
Show. Oh, is that your name? Jock Sampson?
Oh, you got to reach out. No, that's the name of their top guy.
Oh, okay. Well, reach
he
out.
does promos from a pool from Walmart.
Get set up. Get some. Zach, can you talk to one of your bosses over there and get Randy like some backstage access to the show? What a cluster is. Kristen says the actual name.
That's a great named wrestling show right there. That's definitely I would
Failure
like to,
to conform.
Put myself into the pool to cover that.
Yeah. Well, don't take it away from Randy. That's not nice.
Nice.
No,
that's
we'll
awesome,
share
Randy.
it. We'll share the
Yeah, okay.
scrum.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
That's awesome. You know, with Evolve out of the picture now, Zach, like the shows, I don't know what shows are going on in New York. So if you hear of any, you got to let me know. I know the NEW runs, upstate and then in Connecticut and everything. You're not too far from me, man. You're only like 3 hours up there, the Albany area, and I'm down in the Crackerberry Junction area of Connecticut. You know where that is. You've been there.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. All right.
It's funny actually. I might have driven through there at least once in my life because of the fact that I used to do a lot. I was at 18. I thought that I could sell Medicare insurance. Yeah, you could see how that worked out. I'm not selling insurance anymore, and I probably made negative $2,000 my whole time. But I drove a lot around that area.
Let me tell you what, my wife works for a guy who sells Medicare and Medicaid insurance, and he is fucking rich. Like he's fucking loaded in his company. So yeah, you bailed too early, bro. You got to get no salesman's not for everybody. So please, are you near the Catskills? Like, do you know the Catskill Game Farm? Is that still open? Do you know what I'm talking about?
It's not still open, but it's so funny that you say that because I'm pretty sure my mom is friends with the person whose family used to run that.
No shit. Wow. That's awesome.
That right off the bat, it's funny because I lived for a while down near the Catskills in Ravenna. So it's like a little town, like right near the Catskill area. And I went to school down at in Hudson. So I was crossing through the Catskills and all that good stuff too. So yeah, I want to say that my mom does know or was friends with the person whose family used to own that back in the day, but I think it has since shut down.
Do they? I wonder. You know what? Remember, Randy? We had that guy, Jake Williams from Bright Sun Films, does Abandon. We had him on. I got to ask him. Yeah, he's in Canada, and Catskill's not that far from Canada. I don't think. I have to look at a map. But I wonder if the Catskill Game Farm is like abandoned. He can go check it out. That would. And then we can get him hooked up with Zach, and he could talk.
I don't know if they can cross the border yet, bro. Like, we were going to go to Niagara Falls, and they wouldn't let us cross the border.
Fuck Canada. Canada fucking sucks. I fucking hate Canada. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, how about that vaccine rollout, Canada?
Yeah.
America's the big dog.
Yeah. I thought everything was so much better in Canada, and apparently it's not. Zach, I went to Catskill Game Farm a couple times in my life when I was a much younger man. And the last time I went, I think I was like maybe 13 or 14, okay? And we went for Father's Day. It was Father's Day. It was my mother, my father, and me. And this is back in the days when you had a camcorder, that big ass thing you put on your shoulder, and everybody had you take VHS video.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So we're at the lion exhibit on Father's Day, okay? And we're looking at these beautiful, majestic lions and lionesses, all right? And then you see the big boy with his big, floofy mane pop up, and he yawns, and he just, does his lion walk over to Mrs. Lion, who's just laying down trying to get some sun. And he hops on board, and Mr. Lion starts going to town to Miss Lion. And my father's got the camcorder on. And I'm looking at this like, oh my God, this is embarrassing. And my father's not really understanding what's happening until like my mother has to shove him. It's like, stop filming this. Like, what the fuck are you doing? So happy Father's Day.
Just you and me, baby, ain't nothing but mammals. So let's do it like they do on the Discovery Channel.
That's my Catskill Game Farm memory. Yep. Are you okay? So are you near Howe Caverns? Is Howe Caverns up that way?
I'm trying to think. I don't think it's that far away. I think that it's somewhere nearby. I've only been maybe once or twice, I think, in my life. But I want to say that it's not too far a ride where I'm at, because I'm like just outside of Albany. So I'm like right over in that general area.
Okay. Yeah, because we took, when I was younger, we took trips out to upstate. So Randy, Howe Caverns are this massive caverns dug by water. All right, that they take you down into, very claustrophobic. All right, but there's different things to go. Have you ever been to a cavern, Randy, like a tourist trap cavern type thing?
Yeah, a couple of them. But if you overlay, I saw this on Reddit. You overlay the cave system, and where people go missing the most, they line up almost perfect. Oh, it's almost a direct correlation.
You should tell somebody that. Oh my God, isn't it great how I know everything about where Zach lives?
It's gotta be
and I've never met the guy. I try to relate to my guests, Zach. Yeah. Sorry if I make you uncomfortable. All right. Let's
not at all, man.
Okay. You having fun? This is a weird show for Randy and I because we recorded last night. So I apologize for the weirdness of it.
No, man, it's been a good time, Like I like this kind of stuff, and I just love bullshit, and it makes it feel a little less like a weird, crazy life going on with all this shit. So it's nice to chop it up a little bit again.
No, good. I'm glad. I'm glad you're having fun. You got any shows you're going to coming up, or you still waiting them out?
I'm thinking soon. I'm all flea vaxxed and all that good stuff, or double vaxxed, whatever they like to say, to make themselves sound even more superior and more badass 5G. And more X-Men. Yeah, I could literally stick an entire car to my arm. It's amazing.
Wow.
But
wow. They call you
I know it's going to become a problem really quickly because I can't drive anymore. But other than that, it's been great. But I think that pretty soon I'm going to be going to some of the shows and stuff like that, kind of catching up on all that I missed. And I missed out because I was actually planning on going to that AEW show. I want to say it would have been Luke Harper, Brody Lee's debut in AEW, and I was planning on going to that, and that would have been the live show, and it got canceled. Yep.
That story is so sad. My gosh.
Man.
Oh, that's so sad. That's why I went to mental about it. Go ahead, Randy. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I was gonna say I went to the. Oh man, what was the pay-per-view with the exploding barbed wire death match? Revolution or something like that. Yeah. Revolution. Yeah, we went to Revolution.
Randy sent me videos.
We plan on. Yeah, it was great whenever they started yelling that they wanted Sting, and some guy yelled that he drove 400 miles for Sting. He was pretty upset that he had a cinematic match. And then whenever, the exploding barbed wire death match didn't really explode, everyone yelled bullshit. So that was fun. But it was a great show. Like, I really enjoyed myself. Daly's Place is a great venue, so.
Seems that way. It seems like a nice place. Yep.
That venue really kind of does, especially now that I know that they built South Park venue from that one episode. It just makes so much sense. It's like, it just makes sense as a wrestling venue.
Yeah. It's in the football stadium, or is it next to the football stadium, the Jacksonville Jaguar Stadium?
It's at the end of the football stadium.
Okay, that's what. All right,
or on the side.
And the field is behind it,
somewhere.
Right? You can see the field from the opposite camera.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, it is an awesome place. It is very cool. All right, Zach, thanks for coming on tonight. This was fun to talk some wrestling, talk some internet idiot wrestling fans. Please go ahead, plug everything you got, your Twitter, website, any articles, and wherever, and so we can go check you out and read you and tweet you.
Sounds good. Yeah, man. I had a great time tonight. It was definitely fun being a part of this. We'll definitely have to do this again sometime. If anybody wants to find any of my wrestling opinion that seem to piss off like half the internet at a time, you can find me at Spots High on Twitter. And that is a clever name on the fact that I like to get high and I like to watch spots in wrestling. So I'm very creative, as you can tell. So there's a lot of depth of my character that you need to unlock in that realm. And you can find my my articles over on Wrestling Inc. a lot of the time. I've been doing some more social media, live tweeting, all that stuff. So you can usually find more opinions over there to get pissed at me about. So it's like a whole layer. It's an onion that you can just keep peeling and just keep getting disgusted by. It's lovely.
I gotta tell you, I get pissed off very easily, and I've never been pissed at any of your tweets, bud. So you're doing something correct or wrong. Maybe you're doing it wrong. Maybe I should be getting pissed off, and it's your fault that I'm not. Like that other guy, where it's your fault that he was pissed. Maybe I should get pissed at you for not making me pissed off. Do you understand? Does that make?
I'm not invoking enough emotion. I'm not playing the heel well enough. I got to round out my skill set so I can turn every now and again.
Yep. Randy, you know what we can do for bonus episodes is we can review wrestling, like pay-per-views.
Yeah,
dude.
Yeah. Hell yeah!
You can get Zach.
Yeah,
I'm sure. We're just gonna make you do stuff for this, Zach. Sorry.
No, now
we'll
it's official.
alternate.
I'm officially on board as the wrestling analyst of the Rich Dickman Show. It's officially
Awesome.
announced at this moment. I'm declaring it, and I'm manifesting it at the same time. Look at that.
Great. This is awesome because you didn't read
Wow.
this in your contract that you signed earlier this evening to, your release to be on the show. But anytime you offer services to Rich Dickman, you agree to do them for free. So thank you for doing that in public on the air.
Absolutely. Yeah. My
A big
agent
commitment.
is definitely well ahead of it. So I've got a good 99% cut. I heard Trisha Paytas mentioning a lot about some 5%. So I want to also include that in my podcast money too, because I hear that's a lot of money.
Yeah, 5% of nothing is a lot of money. That's right. And Randy, work on getting Trisha Paytas on the show. All right, so check out Zach at Spots High on Twitter and at WrestlingInc.com. Thank you, Zach, this was a good time. I had lots of fun. Randy, it's that time, baby. You know what to do.
Zach, how do you like to consume your marijuana?
I am a dabber mainly, and then a just general smoker all day long. Secondly,
Nice. Yeah. Okay. That's wonderful. I haven't gotten into the dabs because it scares my girlfriend. So I just vape. I got the Stores and Bickles Mighty that I hit on that I've been hitting all night, and it does me real well.
Are they selling up there?
Anyways, let's bring this. Oh,
don't get me talking because it's happening here in Connecticut. Can you buy it up there? Or you still have to go to Massachusetts.
I still have to make the trip out to Mass. Luckily, I live close enough to the western. Oh, right, yeah. Basically, I get this wonderful gentleman who just hands me it as a gift at the border whenever I want, and it's lovely. It's all legal, and it just gives me it as a wonderful charity. But I live
it's great
close
that those
enough
people
to
exist.
Western Mass to make it. They do, yeah. They're really doing God's work. It's amazing, but.
Where's the dispensary that your friend uses?
The friend, I generally keep it. I try to be as generous as possible with where he chooses to go for me. So I tend to go to Berkshire Roots, Canna Provisions, Temescal Wellness, Theory Wellness. I pop around to quite a few. I try to keep it nice and localized around that western border. There's quite a few nice little establishments out there.
Did you go to Theory in Great Barrington?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, my friend Mike tells me all about it. He knows. He's been to Theory before, so I knew Theory has several locations. He told me they're at that.
See, I got to drive 45 minutes.
INSA opened up a mini mall sized dispensary in Springfield, right next to the Basketball Hall of Fame. And Mike was telling me about that place.
Oh,
too.
Wow.
Yeah. He said it was pretty nice. He says it was pretty nice, and it's in a great location. It was very close for him. He just right across the border, Randy, for Mike. It's very easy for him to acquire. I mean, obviously I don't do anything ever like that because that's just wrong. And I look down on both of you for imbibing the devil's lettuce. It's awful, even though it's legal here in Connecticut now. Yeah. All right, Randy, say the words.
Let's bring this baby home.
See, Randy, that didn't seem genuine. That seemed like you forced it. I don't know. Don't do it again. Wait till next week.
Sorry.
Constructive criticism.
No, I was trying to sound like Hank Hill. Just so you get where I was coming from.
Just do Boomhauer. Thank you so much for listening to the Rich Dickman Show, everybody. Your ears mean more to us than you know. I swear to God that's true. And to all you new listeners, thank you so much for coming aboard. We do appreciate you being here, especially in the departure of our ray of sunshine. It's great to have a whole new audience listening in and not knowing any of our history. It's probably for the best, Randy. It's probably for the best.
It's all his co-workers, probably.
Keeping an eye on the show. If you like what we do, you want to support the show, tell a friend. That's right. Tell a friend. Like Zach is going to go out and tell 6 of his friends, and we're going to have 6 new listeners by tomorrow.
It's a deadline. I got it.
If you like us even more than that, go ahead, check out the Patreon, patreon.com/Rich Dickman. It's the beginning of the month. All right. Today is July 1st as we're recording this. This morning, we released a brand new bonus episode, Rem and Randy Rambling. We're picking out new entrance music. entrance music. And we're just having a good time. It's a great show. You got, we'll have the Connecticast edition of Liquor Fueled coming in a couple of days. And Randy and I are going to try to do a second bonus episode this month as well to make up for the ones that we missed. So thank you, Randy, and thank you all for being there. And remember, if you get into the highest tier, you get a t-shirt. You tell me what you want on it. If you want it to say Randy's fucks and NFHC sucks, boom, got you. We'll make it happen. All right. Also, go to richdickman.com. All right. That's our website. Every single one of our episodes is available at richdickman.com, if you know what I mean. We got links to our YouTube channel. We got all the episodes up on YouTube and some video content I did. And of course, our merchandise store. Check it out. Get a shirt or go to amazon.com, search Rich Dickman and buy that Eat the Rich shirt. Zach would agree with me. All of our rich people who run this country are awful. They should all be barbecued. I think it would be delicious. I've played The Walking Dead, the game. Remember that, Zach? I don't know if you played it, but that part in the farm where they're eating pie.
I did, yeah.
Yeah. You know,
that particular scene was a memorable one, that's for sure. I remember finding out that you were the meal.
Yeah. And I was like, you know what?
Yeah, there's another famine coming to North Korea, and so they're going to have to cannibalize here soon.
They better start with the rich people.
They lost between 600,000 and 3 million people during the last famine in 94. So thanks, communism.
I've been told communism is awesome, Randy. You got to make up your mind.
No.
Yeah. I'm all for whoever's in charge just so I don't get killed. All right. Thank you so much for listening to us. Be sure to listen to our friends at the Not For Human Consumption podcast. Check them out. And also check out Who Gives a Shit with Crippled Adam. With Crippled Adam.
Wow, you got their Bennifer name.
With Crippled Adam and Jesus from Houston. Check out Who Gives a Shit. They've got Vito Gesualdi on this week. So make sure you check that out. And our buddies at Roast Mortem. We love all of them.
Oh, shit. That'll be good.
Yeah, it should be.
Roast Mortem is doing somebody great. Man, I wish I could remember who it is. I'm so excited to listen to it on the road tomorrow.
Donald Rumsfeld.
Because it'll be educational for my daughter. Are they doing Donald Rumsfeld?
I don't know. I just saw somebody like give a jack off emoji.
I think they're doing like the original.
It's gross.
Oh man, I got hot goss from my work.
Oh yeah,
my second job.
Uh-oh. Spit it out because I got to end the show. You want to do it after the show?
Oh yeah. Oh no. Somebody shaved their beard and he looks like Ron Jeremy. Somebody pointed it out and now there's a complaint.
Email the show, richdickmanshow@gmail.com. at Rich Dickman Show on Twitter. Follow executive producer Randy at Sir0 with an E or Sir0 with an E at gmail.com. Producer Ryan at Ryan TRDS. My mother at Rem_Mama. And of course, I am at Rem Dickman. Randy, if people want to join the show live or call the voicemail line, how do they do that?
If they want to join the show live Thursday at 10 p.m., they'll go to bit.do/TRDS1. That's bit.do/TRDS1. And if they want to leave us a voicemail, they dial 860-316-4776.
Yes,
I memorized that shit.
Great job.
And I will never fail you again, sir.
Hell yeah. Boom. Thank you again, Zach Perez at Spots High on Twitter for being here. This was a lot of fun. Next week, we don't know who our guest
love your
is
handle.
be.
I'm in love.
He loves. Yeah, you got a new friend in Randy. But as long as he's ready, we'll have Fake News the Game again next week. Be ready, tanks, because the champ is here. You can't see me, bro. Good night.
Boosh.
Oh,
we forgot to coach him.
You gotta yeah.
See ya.
You gotta, Zach. You have to say see ya.
See ya. Okay, I gotcha.
Okay. That's it. You did it. See, we're supposed to tell you at the beginning of the show to say it at the end of the show. Like you're supposed to remember all that shit, right? God, we're terrible with this, Randy. I don't know how we made it this far.
Dude, it's all about persistence. If you just keep putting one foot in front of the other,
yeah, and
you close your eyes and you don't look to your left and you don't look to your right, you just focus on what's in front of you.
And don't listen to spaghetti.
Well, I think hold on.